Hello and welcome. I'm here with the lead water filtration expert at Integrity Pure Newcastle and the host of the documentary Newcastle's Tap Water. And we're also here with John. He was the producer of this documentary and also the lead researcher. Yeah, so at the treatment plant, there were some numbers that weren't adding up. Just take us through. How much water is coming into the treatment plant? Do we know?
It depends on who you ask, right? Can I go?
Please
for it?
go. I have no idea where to start with this.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing. So again, when we went into this documentary, we kind of said we want to be honest, and we want to present facts that have been presented to us. We did not suck things out of our thumb, right? Every single piece of information that we presented, we got from somebody telling us that. And as I said earlier, it's from the annual reports, it's from Mr. Mtsaneka, so it's from people in the industry, in these entities. But now the problem is that the purification plant, the Utugela treatment plant, their reports state that they are producing, if I get the numbers correct, 100.8 megaliters. Now, I also want to be clear that those numbers, we kind of had to choose numbers, okay? Because Utugela's report will say that they're producing 100.8 megaliters. The Newcastle annual report will say they're producing 103 megaliters. I'm just thumb-sucking figures. And the Department of Water and Sanitation will say they're producing 111 megaliters. And there is literally no way that we can know the answers to this. In fact, it has been suggested to me in conversations just on the phone and sort of off record, and so I won't say who suggested these things to me. And again, we haven't been to the plant. We have no idea what's going on there. But some people have suggested that they don't have bulk water meters in place. And so they don't even know. They're thumb-sucking. Now, the only evidence I can maybe present that can confirm that is when they present these figures in Utugela's report themselves. There's a star next to the figure, at least in one place in that chart that we saw. There's a star, and if you follow the star to the bottom of the page, it tells you where they got that information from. And it's from somebody who works at Utugela who said that.
Okay.
So it's not like from voltmeter A, right?
It's like, trust me, bro.
It's from Frikkie van der Merwe, right?
Okay.
So it's really unreliable numbers to begin with, and the numbers are all over the place, but we kind of tried to just pick the averages and say, well, let's take this one. And if we're talking about Utugela numbers, we're going to take Utugela's numbers, right? I tried to keep to that in our documentary, but I digress. This is a way too long answer. The problem is, Utugela says that they're producing 100.8 megaliters of water. They also say that they are receiving a maximum of 92 megaliters per day from Nchingwayo Dam. Okay. So Nchingwayo Dam is sending them 92 megaliters per day, and they're producing 100.8 megaliters per day. Now, you and I all know that you can't just make water out of nothing. So they have to be getting the water from somewhere. In our conversations with some staff at Utugela and the annual reports all suggest they're getting that extra water from the Buffalo River, Umzinyathi River.
Which is gravity fed, so they just have to, it's no pump, no nothing, you just open a valve and water comes running that you need.
But the point is they can get extra water over and above their maximum of 92 megaliters per day, average of 70 from what I understand, but I digress. It's very easy for them to get the extra from Umzinyathi River by just opening a valve. And whoosh, we've got extra water and we meet our 100.8 megaliters capacity. But Mr. Mtsaneka assures us that they're not getting water from the Umzinyathi River or Ngogwana River. So I just don't know where the extra water is coming from. That's all I'm wondering about. Ek verstaan nie, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have answers. I've got questions.
I know
and if somebody can answer
more
them,
water.
we need more water.
From the reports, it says we're producing 100.8. We need 100. Well, the plant can produce 130, And from old figures, and Newcastle's population is growing, we need 131 megalitres of water. So
Yeah.
just showing away water.
And I really do predict that 131 is a massively understated figure. Because keep in mind that we're losing 37% of our water, which we'll talk about later probably.
Technical losses.
Technical losses. That's water that's being lost. And then an additional percentage to take us from 37 to 65, that percentage, whatever the number is there, people are stealing.
Okay, so they're at least getting water, but
Yeah.
it's not being paid for.
But now the question is, how do we know how much? How do we know this if we don't have bulk
Yeah.
meters in place, right? But I digress. The point is, there's so much illegal connections happening, and there's so much water loss happening. I predict that those numbers are so grossly understated that we would be terrified if we knew how much water Newcastle actually needs.
If we filter water for any purpose, for household or for lodges or whatever the case is, we ask them how many people, and we work on 250 litres per person per day. Now that is slightly overestimated because we like to overestimate and make sure we can filter enough water on the plant. But that's the numbers we're using, 250 litres per person per day.
Sure.
So people are using a lot of water because they don't mind flushing the toilet, they don't mind pushing the start button on that automatic washing machine. So the 6,000 litres goes like this.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm David, fellow director at Integrity Pure Newcastle, and that's us.